Hello, I'm Charlotte Jessup and welcome to the Looking After Your Pennies YouTube channel. Today I'm talking all about meal planning and how to set your meal plan up for success. So, meal planning is the act of deciding what meals you are going to have for the rest of the week. Now, the great thing about this is it is a fantastic way to save money and to reduce food waste as well. Now, I'm a big fan of both of those things, and we have been practicing meal planning in this house for years, on and off, but still years, and it has, whenever we do it, it has been a great success. So I'm urging you, if you think that you want to embrace frugal living, then meal planning is a huge tool in your frugal living kit. You are going to need a few things before you start. This is a list of the food that you have already in your cupboards, a pen and a bit of paper, and a meal plan sheet where you record all of the meals that you are gonna have over the next week or even the next month if you're feeling particularly optimistic and organised. So I have a few steps to help you set out your meal plan. So the first one, I've hinted at this already, this is having a list of what you already have in your cupboards. Now, it's one thing to go out to the shops and just pick what you fancy. Even when you're creating your meal plan, you might start by going, oh yeah, I really fancy this and I really fancy that. Well, that's not the most money efficient way to plan your meals. The best thing to do is look at what you already have and then see what extras you are going to need to make some decent meals out of that. So go around and make a list of what you have in your cupboards, what you have in your fridge, what you have in your freezer, and then look at the meals that you could potentially create out of the things that you already have. Now, you might find that you've actually got 2 or 3 meals that are all ready to go. You might find that you have another couple that are nearly there, but you just need 1 or 2 more ingredients to make it a decent meal. That's easy enough, we'll add those to the shopping list. And then you might find you need a couple of extras to see you through to the end of the week, and you're going to need the majority of the ingredients for those. But if you don't have that list and you don't know what you've got in your cupboards, then you're not going to be able to make those decisions. So start off by having a look, seeing what you've got, and we're going to use that as the foundation for our meal plan. Number 2. Next thing I want you to do is to write into your diary or your meal planner any events that you have coming up this week. Now, this could be things as simple as when you're working till, what clubs your kids have got at school, or they could be things like, oh, we're out for a party, or we're going around mum and dad's for that evening. Whatever you have coming up, write those in your meal plan so that you are aware of the days that you're going to need meals, but also the days when you might feel a little bit rushed or you might not have the same amount of time to prepare meals, or the days when you feel like you might want something a bit nice or a bit special. If you know what things you've got coming up, you can kind of predict the sort of meals you might fancy on those days. Make sure you get all those events in, and then you can plan from there what you're going to have and make meals that are going to work for you and your family. Number 3, look for the cheapest food. Now, we can go with our gut on this and be like, oh, actually, I fancy steak and chips, or I fancy, duck or something else that's expensive. But if you're looking to meal plan to keep your bills down, then the best thing you can do is have a look. So go on the Tesco's website, whatever supermarket you are using, and plan your meals around what's cheapest rather than what you fancy. Now, this might feel a bit weird at first because you're used to going, oh, well, why don't we have this? Why don't we have that meal? And kind of planning around the things that your family enjoys. But actually, the cheapest way to do it is go, well, actually, these foods are cheaper, so let's try and get as many of those in, and then you kind of sprinkle in your favourites at the end. So go and look for the foods that are cheapest, and remember, try and go sort of down a level. If you're used to shopping for brands, can you go for the supermarket zone? Or can you go for the budget brand? You know, whatever you think is going to be cheapest or whatever works out for you and your meal, just try and drop it down and find the cheapest option that there is. So, number 4 is let people have a few of their favourites. Now, kids can be fussy and so can adults too, so try and think about keeping them happy during the week by letting them choose. So let everybody choose one of their favourite meals during the week, or say you can choose from this or this, and that way you kind of keep people on side. If they know that they're having their favourite meal tomorrow or the day after, then they'll be happy eating something a bit different today. So if you go round, ask your family, what do you fancy this week? You know, which one of these meals is your favourite? Then you can kind of plan that into your meal plan and make it more successful because more people are happy with it. Be flexible. So that's the next one, is be flexible. You might plan it out that Monday you're having tacos and then Tuesday you've got spaghetti bolognese. But if on the day you don't fancy that, then you need to have some sort of flexibility around that. So yes, you can keep the same meals, but they don't have to be on the same days. One thing that I find that's particularly annoying is when you order a load of shopping and then it turns up and the food is expired before you had planned to eat that meal. So have some flexibility. So set out the meals, but maybe allow yourself to have them on different days than you'd intended. That can be great if something pops up that you weren't expecting to happen. And like I say, it makes sure that all the food gets eaten in date. Next one, have some cheap, easy meals in your freezer. There are always going to be those days when you don't want to cook that meal, or, you know, oh, it's Friday, we've had a long day, you know, or when you're really reaching for the takeaway menus. On those days, you need something that you can whip out of the freezer and get on the plate in just a few minutes. Frozen pizzas are fabulous for this. You can stock them in your freezer so that when you're reaching for the takeaway, you can opt for that instead and save yourself a whole load of money. Yes, you might go off the meal plan for one day, but it doesn't matter because you've still got some cheap backups in the freezer. And lastly, make sure you use some sort of meal planner. Now this could be a spreadsheet, this could be a printout. I have meal planning printables in my shop. There is a meal planning kit that you can buy and download, and you can do that weekly and you could do that monthly, however you feel best to plan your meals. But it really helps to have some sort of organisation and some place that people can turn to see what is on the menu for that day. So if you're not going to be the one that's cooking the meal and your partner is, or somebody else in your household, then they can look, see what's on the menu, and they can just go ahead and cook that meal. So having somewhere to write it all down, such as a meal planner, can be completely game-changing for your meal plan. So that's it. Those are my top tips for a successful meal plan. If you've liked this video, click the like below, and if you're looking out for more money saving or money confidence tips, hit subscribe to make sure you don't miss a video. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you on the next one.